Yes, I'm loving it. Too fun. Just 20 more pages. It's very good. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Britt, and in this video I'm going to be doing another weekly reading challenge. I have been loving doing these weekly reading challenges. I've done one where I read like 1 hour a day and 2 hours a day. And I also did one where I read 100 pages every day for a week, and now I'm going to try to read 3 hours every day. I'm a bit scared, but I've said to myself in the last one that I did like a 1 hour and 2 hour a day, I only wanted to read physically, so from an actual physical book, because I wanted to just decrease the amount of time I spent on my phone just scrolling. But for this challenge I've allowed myself to listen to audiobooks as well and count down towards the 3 hours, but I have to read at least an hour and a half physically every day. So at least an hour and a half from a physical book. I am currently reading The Ship of Shadows by Maria Kuzniar, and this is a brilliant middle grade story about pirates, female pirates. We follow this girl named Aleha, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, and she happens to stumble upon the Ship of Shadows, and then she's on the ship with the crew and she's becoming kind of part of the crew, and it is just a very cool adventurous pirate story with fighting, with smart women, with just awesome girls in here, and I am loving it. I think this one is so brilliant also for young readers when they're reading it. And you know, most of the time when you hear or see or read pirate stories, they're always about men, but this is all about a female crew, which is awesome. I'm loving the cover as well. Look, it has this beautiful orange, and when you open it up you see the ship through the hole. This is so cool. It's like gold, and there's like krakens and fighting and magic and yes, I'm loving it. So this is my physical read for now. I have like 150 pages left, something like that. So let's see how long this will take me. And then the other book that I'm reading is The Poppy War, but I'm listening to that on audiobook, and I'm also not going to talk about it in this vlog too much because I'm reading that for my Patreon book club, which I'm making like a separate reading vlog for my Patreon. But I will include it in this challenge so I can use that for the audiobook that I'm listening to. So I think that's that, all of the information about this week's challenge. I'm really excited. I'm also a little bit scared because 3 hours is a lot, but let's see if I can do it. So I really hope you're going to like this challenge and just these challenge videos. So if you do, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to, let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas for these type of reading challenges that I can do, because I'm loving these weekly reading challenges because they are motivating me to read so much. So I'm very excited for this one. Yes, let's do this. Oh, and by the way, what I'm going to do first now is listen to the audiobook whilst cleaning my fridge, because I've lived here for 10 months and I haven't actually properly deep cleaned my fridge before, you know, before I moved in. I deep cleaned it, or well, my mum did, thanks mum, but I haven't cleaned it after that. And it's not dirty or anything, definitely not, but it just needs a lovely clean. So I'm going to clean my entire fridge, and then I'm going to pack some orders and do the laundry, all whilst listening to the audiobook, because that's like the perfect thing to do, just cleaning a bit and listening to an audiobook. I've listened to like 2.5 hours of audiobook and it is 12. I just had some lunch as well. I think in total I've listened to like 10%, and that's quite a lot because I listened to it on 1.2 times speed because it's quite, you know, there's a lot of information, so I really have to listen to it very slowly, but it's going very well. And I think now like the annoying thing is I can't work right now, even though it is, you know, Easter Monday, so it's technically like a holiday, but I didn't really have any plans, so I could definitely just do some work. But yesterday when I was at my parents' house, I forgot my charger from my laptop. So it is completely empty right now. Luckily my parents have to be in Rotterdam today, so they'll be bringing it back to me, but I couldn't do anything this morning. So yeah, I have to have my charger because I have to edit a video that I have to send to a company today for like a sponsorship. So that's a pity, but luckily they'll be here quite soon so I can start editing the video. But I think now I'm going to be reading for like half an hour in the Ship of Shadows because I really want to finish that, you know, this week, and I will, because if I read an hour and a half every day at least, like physically, I'll be able to finish that this week. Yay! But yeah, I'm going to stop with the audiobook now because my ears hurt a little bit because those, like, they're very comfortable. They're these LG ones, but after a while you can just feel them, you know. And also, oh my god, what did I do? I ordered a new game for my Nintendo Switch. I ordered Stardew Valley because on Twitter I saw two of my friends, Kim and Leonie. I saw them talking about Stardew Valley this morning at 8 AM, and then I suddenly thought, let's buy that game. It's probably a bit like Animal Crossing-ish, very cozy and casual, and just building a farm. So that will probably arrive tomorrow. So I hope that that's going to not interfere with my reading challenge this week, although I doubt it, but we will see. I'm excited because I haven't really played on my Switch much just recently, so I'm excited for a new game. It is 2 PM. I just got my charger back. Yeah, so I just finished editing that video, and since it's exporting now I can't go on my laptop, I thought I would read for half an hour from the Ship of Shadows. So I'm going to set myself on like a forest timer again. It's this really great app where you can set a timer and it will grow a tree, and you can't leave the app, so you can't go to different apps, otherwise the tree will die. So it really motivates you to, you know, set a timer for 30 minutes and just read for 30 minutes. So that's what I'm going to be doing now, and let's see how far I can get. I'm also going to be snacking on my little Easter basket that my grandma made for me. She always makes me one for Easter. So I'm going to be having one of these, which are the best ones. They are filled with praline. So good. Okay, it is already 7:15 PM and I still have to read for 1 hour, but there are going to be TV shows on tonight that I want to watch, but I am going to do it. So I just painted my nails, by the way. Lovely gel nail polish. I always use this one. It's by a brand called Madame Glam, and it's completely vegan, which is nice. And you also have like a top coat and a base coat and a light. This is not sponsored, but they did send me this nail polish in a couple of other colors, and I've used them for like a few weeks now, and they're really great. So if you want to check them out, I do have a little discount code in the description as well. Really liking this nail polish. But I'm going to be reading for 30 minutes now, and then again just like taking a little break and then 30 minutes more. So I will have reached my goal of reading So I will have reached my goal of reading an hour and a half physically today. Good morning, it's Tuesday, and yes, I'm wearing the exact same outfit as yesterday because I didn't want to wash it yet and it wasn't necessary because I didn't do anything yesterday. But I managed to complete the last like hour and a half for reading my physical book. I did read quite slowly, so I still have like 90 pages to go, but I am going to finish that one today, and just the audiobook as well. So I will keep you updated on my reading, but first I'm going to do the addresses for the orders that I'm shipping out today. Okay, it's like 1 p.m. and I finished all of my work that I really wanted to do today, because I think the game will be delivered today, as I said yesterday, you know, on Stardew Valley. I just looked and it says it's still going to be delivered today, but my package hasn't even been... The postal services don't even have the package yet. But yeah, I think it will be delivered tomorrow, which is actually good because I haven't read anything today. I've read like 15 minutes from the Ship of Shadows, and it's already 1. And tonight I'm going to do a FaceTime date with some friends of mine, so I don't have time. So I think right now I will read some, because I still have like 2 hours and 45 minutes to read today. As you can see, suddenly there was a freaking snowstorm. It is spring. A few days ago I was in the park with like no jacket on, short sleeves, sunscreen on, and now it's a freaking snowstorm. Just 20 more pages. Yes, I finished it. Oh, I absolutely loved it. This is one of my favorite middle grades right now. I just freaking love pirates, and especially because this is all about women. So I can't wait for the second book to be released. But since I still have to read for about 20 minutes today, I'm going to read some more poems from this book, The Complete Poetry of Edgar Allan Poe, because I've never read anything like any of his work before. So I have this little poetry book, so I'm just going to be reading a bit from this one and maybe like finish it. I don't know. It's not really like, I don't think poetry you should read this entire book in one go, you know what I mean? So I'll just see, but I still have to read for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to be doing that now. Good morning, it is why can't I say that? Thursday. And I want to give you a little like roundup of how yesterday went. I did read it 3 hours. I'll talk more about that later. But I also received Stardew Valley. I have done nothing yesterday except play that freaking game and read the 3 hours. Oh my god, why did I decide to get a new game in the middle of one of these challenges, in the middle of just a work week? It's a really fun game. Every time I'm just like, if you don't know the game by the way, it's basically you inherit this farm from your grandfather and you just have to farm. And you know, grow crops, get animals, and become friends with all of your neighbors going to the little city center. Oh my god, I have played so much. You can't see how many hours I've played yet because it keeps saying like first played 20 hours ago, for example, so you can't, like, it doesn't tell you exactly how long you've played so far, but it's a lot. So since I didn't do any work yesterday, basically I sent 3 emails and that's it. I did make a lovely breakfast, I made some eggs, and I just, you know, thought, okay, this is going to be a productive day, and then I grabbed that freaking Switch and it didn't turn out to be a productive day. But I did listen to the Poppy Wall for an hour and a half during the day, because just during cooking, during breakfast and dinner, and just during like cleaning up a little bit. So I did manage to read an hour and a half of the Poppy Wall. The stupid thing is I forgot to like put a bookmark where I started at the beginning of this week, but I think it was around like chapter 12. And I'm currently on chapter 19. So I already listened to this much of the book, which is amazing. I only have this much left, and chapter 21 is nearing, and I heard that one is going to be really intense. So this is already a success. Then the 2 books that I finished. So I already told you, I believe, that I finished The Ship of Shadows, which I absolutely love. Again, I forgot to put a note where I started, but I thought it was around the middle of the book, somewhere around here. So I read like half of this book. Maybe I said it in the beginning of this vlog. I'll try to figure it out. Then I also finished The Complete Poetry of Edgar Allan Poe. I didn't rate this because I just don't really know how to rate this. The thing is, this is not really my kind of poetry because it's written like in this very old English language, which of course makes sense, but it's just not really my kind of poetry. But just because I don't really understand some of the poems doesn't mean it's like a bad book, so I don't want to rate it low, but it definitely is not the kind of poetry book for me. So that's why I didn't rate it, but I did finish it. So that is about 100 pages or so. I didn't read the afterword because frankly I couldn't really care. So yeah, that was about 100 pages. And then what I did do is my reread of Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm making a separate vlog, a very exciting one, that is all about rereading all of my favorite books to see if they're still my favorites. So I'm not going to tell you about my thoughts yet. Spoiler alert. It's really good, but I did put a little tab where I started, and then yesterday, as you saw, I went to bed at like 8 something, and I put 3 timers for 30 minutes, and I managed to do it all. So now I am 90 pages further than where I started yesterday, which means I read like a page a minute, which is really cool. So I read this much yesterday, which is amazing. So this is still very successful. Today I'm going to be focusing on Daisy Jones and the Six and the Poppy Wall, and that's it. I already listened to a bit this morning when I was just having breakfast. It's only like 9:15. Just then when I did my makeup and my hair and everything, I thought I would curl my hair a little bit, and I'm really liking it. My hair is growing like crazy. Playing Animal Crossing with Sabine. Happy Friday. I was just wearing like a shirt, but then I was cold, so I put this bright pink jumper over it. And my hair, I had a bad headache. A little update. It is not going too well. Yesterday, I only listened to an hour and a half of the audiobook, and I did not read anything from Daisy Jones and the Six. I went to bed again at like 8:30, so I planned on reading an hour and a half, and then I went on TikTok. So what I'm going to try is to catch up on all the time that I lost. So I still have to read an hour and a half extra physically this week, and let's see if I can do it, because I do have the entire Sunday off. So I'm still going to try to catch up on the hour and a half that I missed yesterday. As for the audiobook, I have like 4 hours left, but I kind of want to take a little break with that. So I'm just going to listen to a new audiobook, and I found one that has amazing reviews and it sounds so good. The Stationery Shop, a novel written by Marjan Kamali. This author is from Iran, and she was born in Turkey, but her parents are from Iran, and it's a very long description, but I will tell you. So this is about a girl who, it takes place in 1953 in Tehran. I'm not exactly sure which country that is in, but I will leave it here. And she starts working at this stationery shop from Mr. Fakri, and it says like she always feels safe in the dusty store, overflowing with fountain pens, shiny ink bottles and thick pads of soft writing paper. And one day her boss introduces her to the handsome barman and they fall madly in love. She loses her heart at once, and as their romance blossoms, the modest little stationery shop remains their favorite place in all of Tehran. A few short months later, on the eve of their marriage, Roya agrees to meet Bahman at the town square, but suddenly violence erupts, a result of the coup that forever changes their country's future. In the chaos, Bahman never shows. For weeks, Roya tries desperately to contact him, but her efforts are fruitless. With a sorrowful heart, she resigns herself to never seeing him again, and then 60 years later, it says like an accident of fate leads her back to Bahman and offers her a chance to ask him the questions that have haunted her for more than half a century. Why did he leave? Where did he go? And how was he able to forget her? I have heard amazing things about this book. I looked on Goodreads, and so many of my friends on Goodreads gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It sounds really good, so I'm going to be listening to this one because I just wanted to listen to something else. The cover is so beautiful as well, by the way. So yeah, and it's only 9 hours, so I think that's quite short for like an audiobook. So I will keep you updated on this audiobook and also on my reading like physically. The thing is, a friend of mine is also coming over tonight, and she will be sleeping here at my place, so I won't be reading that. But tomorrow, like, I have the entire weekend off, so I'm going to try to catch up on all the reading that I didn't do. Let's do this. There we go. Whoa, this is very unflattering with the greasy fringe. Oh well. Little update, it is Saturday. Yesterday I also didn't read anything like physically, just the audiobook, but not physically. And then my friend came over and we watched Titanic, and it was her first time watching Titanic, and oh, if you don't know, Titanic is my all-time favorite film, and she'd never watched it before, and she's like, please don't get mad at me if I don't love it as much as you do. But I already knew that she wasn't going to love it as much as I do, because my obsession with Titanic is... But she enjoyed it very much. She just thought it was very like, she didn't expect it to be about the sinking so much, and she thought it was really like scary, and just she thought it was going to be a very cozy and romantic, and you know, that the sinking of the ship was just going to be a side plot. But of course it's very much about the sinking as well, so that was very just interesting seeing her like reactions and stuff. So I just didn't read anything physically yesterday. And then this morning, on Saturday, it's like 5 p.m. Basically, for the entire morning, I was just looking up Titanic videos on YouTube, because I fell into this little Titanic rabbit hole, or actually quite a big Titanic rabbit hole. However, I just read an hour and a half, and I've nearly finished Daisy Jones and the Six, and I'm going to read for another hour and a half today as well, to catch up on, like, for Thursday. And then tomorrow on Sunday, I'm also going to be reading 3 physical hours, so I can catch up on the hour and a half that I missed yesterday on Friday. So I am going to be reading for all the 3 hours every day, but just on a different day, if that's okay. It's like raining like crazy the entire day, so it's not nice to go outside for a walk. So I'm just going to chill a bit and listen to the audiobook as well, because I still have to listen to an hour and a half of the audiobook today. But I'm really enjoying that audiobook, The Stationery Shop. I will tell you a bit more about it when I've listened to it a bit more, because I haven't listened to it much, just the first like hour and a half. This is a very with Angle. I'm in my bedroom. I just washed my hair. As you can see, it is Sunday and my washing machine is on, but that thing makes the loudest noise. It looks like a spaceship that is going to space. That is the amount of noise it makes. So I'm just sitting here to tell you about my reading, because yesterday I did it. I read 3 hours physically, as well as an hour and a half of audiobook. I'm still listening to the Stationery Shop. I am so into it. It is so good. I'm really into it. I'm really feeling for these characters, and it's a lot about how love can make you blind. And it takes place in 1953 Iran, where there is a lot of violence, and it's just, I'm really into it. So I'm definitely going to listen to it more today. And then for the physical reading that I did yesterday, I finished Daisy Jones and the Six, like in the first hour and a half that I had to read. So finished this one. And then I physically read The Poppy War just at night before I went to bed, and I also read like an hour and a half. I've nearly finished this one too, so I'm going to finish this one today. Physically reading this one and listening to the audiobook for the Stationery Shop, but I don't think this will take me 3 hours, because I have to read 3 physical hours today, since I also skipped Friday. So I have to read 3 physical hours today, so you know, I can read this in 3 hours. But I will probably just pick up something else as well, but I will keep you updated for that. This is so successful, even though I kind of messed up a little bit in the middle of the week, but I'm catching up. And also look at these cute tulips. A friend of mine gave them to me yesterday. They were still like not blooming. I don't know how you call it, but now they're blooming. Okay, I'm just going to finish doing my hair and clean up a bit, and the weather is finally like good again. There is no rain for a change, so I'm going for a walk in a bit as well. And then I'm going to listen to the audiobook. And I'm excited. I just went on a walk and suddenly it started raining. This is typical Dutch weather. So I've got nice frizzy hair again. Thanks, rain. But I listened to an hour of the audiobook of the Stationery Shop, and now I'm going to finish The Poppy War. I'm scared. I just finished The Poppy War, and that means that I only have to read for like an hour and a half more today. The thing is, I'm not really reading any physical books at the moment. While I'm still reading like a Game of Thrones book and A Brief History of Nearly Everything. I've been reading that one for so long, but it's not really a book that you have to read in one go. Or I mean, it's just about science and it's non-fiction, and every chapter is about something else. But I haven't read that one in years, honestly, but I still haven't finished it. And I kind of don't want to start a new book, because I'm going to be doing another sort of reading challenge from tomorrow onwards for that week. So what I actually want to read is this. I've had this book. This is a massive book about the Titanic. I got this from my grandfather, I think 15 years ago. He had this in his library, and he knew that I absolutely loved the Titanic after seeing the film, and I just became completely obsessed with this entire story and the survivors and just how it all, you know, happened. And he had this amazing book in his library, and I just, like, I've always looked through it and looked at all of the pictures, and I read a few things, but I never really read, like properly read some of the information in here. So it is actually my goal to read this entire book one day. It just looks, this book is amazing. It is one of the most beautiful books I have. It is full of these beautiful paintings and photos and drawings, and look, and just all of the photos of the actual crew are in as well. And some of the cast members of the film, they are cast so brilliantly because they look so alike. So I think I'm just going to read, like, start in this book. It's just my goal to read it one day. And yeah, that's it. I think that would be really cool. So I'll be reading for an hour and a half from this one. By the way, this is called, look how cool this looks as well, the naked cover. Titanic, an Illustrated History by Don Lynch and paintings by Ken Marshall. Okay, but first some lunch, because it's already like nearly 2 p.m. and I haven't even eaten any lunch. This is the most random sort of cheese platter ever. because I still had lots of these cheeses left from when my friend came over on Saturday or like Friday. So basically just some crackers with some brie, some pieces of cheddar, and some olives and some mushrooms and some feta cheese and some tea whilst watching The Office. Okay, so I've read for about an hour in this book. It is not comfortable to read, but it is so interesting. I'm already on like page 57. Let's see, I've read this much already because like a lot of the things, like a lot of the pages are, you know, a lot of pictures and drawings and paintings. So there isn't a lot of text. I only have to read like half an hour more to reach the 3-hour physical reading mark for today, which is crazy. Oh my god. So I am definitely going to be reading more. It is really interesting reading so much more about the you know, the people that were actually on the ship and why they were on the ship. Not just the very wealthy passengers, but also people from second class and steerage. It's also, of course, very sad to read all of these stories. Well, if you read from like a first class woman, you can be pretty sure that she survived. But if you read about people from third class, it's really just so sad to think about that they probably did not survive. So yeah, it's not very happy. I'm wearing my dressing gown again because it's Sunday and I want to feel cozy. But I just wanted to give you my final update on this challenge because I read for well over an hour that I had to read in the Titanic book to reach the 3-hour physical reading for today. It is currently 4:30, which means that I've read like an hour and a half. I have read 90 pages of this book so far. It is so interesting. And I just want to give you a brief wrap up of everything I read this week. So 90 pages of this one. Then I finished this one. This was about 90 pages as well of the poems that were left in this book. I will calculate all the pages and tell you how many pages I read. This will also include just the audiobooks as well, so I will include the audiobook pages in here as well. Then I started the Poppy Wall this like at the beginning of this week around here. I can't really remember too well exactly where I started. I should write that down next time, but around like just before half of the book. And I finished this one as well with mostly audiobook but also some physical reading. Then also Daisy Jones and the Six, which I was also nearly halfway through, but I read a lot in this one as well and finished this one. And then the first one, The Ship of Shadows, which was here, and that was also halfway in the book already, and I physically finished this one too. How much have I read? And I calculated it, and this is roughly 1,000 pages. Oh my goodness, this challenge is so successful. Even though I kind of like missed a few days with the physical reading, but I caught up completely and I'm just beyond like impressed with myself. Of course, I calculated the audiobook as well, the stationery shop, those pages as well. Whoa. Also, I'm like over halfway through the stationery shop audiobook. It is so freaking good. I haven't even finished it, but I'm already recommending it. So definitely check out that book. I'd never heard of it before, but I just randomly saw it on Script and I thought I would give it a try. So I'm really happy I did that. And I think that is it for this week's challenge. Whoa. I'm also definitely going to read more from the Titanic book today, and we'll see how far I get. I won't even be surprised if I finish it because I have no other plans today and it's only 4:30 p.m. so I still have like quite a few hours left before I'm going to bed. If you have any ideas on other reading challenges that I can do, please let me know in the comments. I've already done like a 1 hour, a 2 hour, and now a 3 hour challenge, as well as reading 100 pages a day. So maybe for our next one I could do like reading 150 pages a day every day for a week. But next week I'm going to attempt to do another challenge, which is going to be to read an entire series in a week but which series, that is going to be a surprise. But it is in anticipation of a TV show that will be released soon, so you may know it. But I really hope you like this video. Please do give it a thumbs up, and if you don't know what to comment but you want to comment something, comment a little bee, because I put a new phone case on my phone and it has a lot of bees on it. So comment a little bee emoji in the comments so I know that you're there and that you watched the video. But I know, like, sometimes you just don't know what to comment, but I just love seeing, you know, if people commented, so I know that you watched my video, and it just means a lot. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a future video. And I really hope you're having a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.